Good afternoon. We're rocking and rolling westbound and down to Grand Junction from Denver. Good to be back up in the mountains. Where you face the wind usually head on, but as you can see right here, side wind. We're light, but I mean not bad. We're 10,000 pound load, so it's not too bad. Not worried about it in the slightest. That's why I usually take 70 if I'm going westbound, if it's possible, because they shut I-80 down a lot. You probably heard me say this before, a lot. But they shut it down for not only bad weather, which they definitely do get, but also light trailers, light high-profile trailers, vehicles they call it. Will shut you down so you don't get blown over. I had a trailer the other day that was kind of on the edge that said closed to light high profile vehicles. I was heavy enough. I think I was. I'm not sure if it's 20,000 pounds or what, and I was maybe 18. I don't remember exactly, but it was a headwind the whole way, and so we just got her done and had no issues at all, because it's not a headwind, sorry, tailwind. So we didn't have any issues at all. It actually didn't even get blown around a little bit. I've already been blown around more. What you've witnessed since I fired the video up, than I did I-80, where it was closed because of 60 mile per hour gusts, closed to light and high profile vehicles. If you're heavy, you can cruise right through it. It's just if you're light. If you're light and you get blown over and you went through it when it was closed, then you deserve the big heavy fine that you probably get with it. Anyway, we just passed Copper Mountain. We are climbing the eastern side of Vail Pass. And I got these Klingons right here. That guy's busy eating in that white pickup. He's having himself a 7-course meal while he's driving. We'll probably get some snow up here, but nothing fun. It'll probably be like this the whole way over Vail Pass. Before I head out of Denver, in the winter time, I do check chain laws in Colorado, just because it'll affect me. I'll have to chain up, which is a bunch of BS. If you have good tires and you know what you're doing, you should be able to just cruise on through. I mean, these are my stomping grounds, and I know it a lot better than a driver from Florida who only comes up once every couple of years, maybe. But his driving affects me, because when he got stuck and shut down the traffic, they said enough. Everybody chain up now. Well, you know the old saying, it only takes one to ruin it for everybody. You know, don't get me wrong. If I chain up, I do it because I need to. I know when I need to chain up or not. You know, if I question it, I chain. You know, it's a rule I've always used. Once you do it quite a bit, you learn to where you don't have to chain as much, because now you know how to flow in the snow, if you will. There's a little bit of an art to it. It's kind of cool. But there's times when you absolutely do need to chain up, you know, and I do know when those times are. But, you know, they have these warning labels and stuff, and they have, you know, it's like in that movie, it was Patrick Swayze, Roadhouse. You know, and the other actor, I forget his name, I know it, but I'm always bad with names. Anyway, he's like, yeah, they got a big old sign down here, don't eat the big white mint in the urinal. And it's, on there, it's just a joke, but it's because somebody did. You know? Like this poor girl used something on her hair to glue it down, I guess, and she didn't have any more, so she used Gorilla Glue adhesive, and now she's got a skull cap that won't come off. It's happening right now. You can look it up. I feel sorry for her, but what were you thinking? It's an all-around adhesive. It tells you not to use it on, keep it away from skin, eyes, and stuff like that. But it never said anything about hair. So now she's going to try to sue them because of her own mistake, you know? I don't know. But that's how it goes. All those stupid things that you hear, warning labels and things like that, it's because somebody did it, somebody died, you know, the McDonald's. Girl sued McDonald's because she ordered a cup of hot coffee and then she spilt it on herself and said it was too hot. I wanted hot coffee, I just didn't want hot coffee. And she won. You know, so anyway, I'm not going to ramble on about that. As you can see, we're at the top of Vail. There's nothing up here. It is snowing, but the roads are fine. 26 degrees. Finally cooled down. I left Denver. It was 23 degrees. The time right now is 12:55 Mountain Standard Time. Left Denver at 23. It was 36 in Silverthorne, which is in between Eisenhower Hill and Vail Pass. I call it Eisenhower Hill. It's the tunnel that cuts underneath the Continental Divide. Quality driver. Well, I don't know if he's a quality driver, but he does drive for quality. See that windshield there. So yeah, it was. I call it the Eisenhower Hill because, you know, when you live in Denver, you look to the west and you go, oh, let's go up in the mountains. But when you're already up in the mountains, you're like, let's go up there in them hills. You know, because you're already 8,300 feet, 8,500 feet. So then, you know, you go up another couple thousand feet kind of like a hill, you know. So anyway, that's why I call that going underneath the Continental Divide Eisenhower Hill, even though it's 7 miles long, 7% grade. So I saw something kind of interesting last night, a brand new Volvo truck. And then I saw some more sitting in the back. So I don't know what's going to happen with those. I don't know if they'll offer me one or not. They always have. And not worried about it. This has been a great truck. I got it with like 1,200 miles on it. It was the tow truck. In other words, they put 3 tractors from the factory together. It was either 3 or 4. And 2 of them are towed, you know, piggyback, and then one of them is a tower that does the actual driving. And this was one of them trucks, the tow truck. So that's why I had 1,400 miles, or what did I say, 12, 14, I don't remember, versus 46 or 36 miles. But anyway, right now I have 279 454. And it's been a great truck. I haven't had any issues with it whatsoever, knock on wood. And knock on my toothpick. Anyway, yeah, I hadn't seen any new trucks for quite a while. The owner quit buying trucks in 2018. 2018? No, it's probably mid-2019. And because he bought enough, so I think it was just a natural lull for him. And then COVID hit, and he was like, put the brakes on buying anymore. And after that 14-day mask shutdown mandate to flatten the curve, which is now gone almost a whole year, he finally has started to buy some, looks like. And if they ask me for a new one, I'm thinking about it. I don't know. One reason why I always have in the past was you don't generally break down with a new truck. You know, I have had breakdowns on other vehicles, other trucks with this company. You know, cruising right along, all of a sudden, boom! All the lights come on, the big red button, stop, stop, stop. It's honking at you and everything, so you pull over real quick and it's done. Tow truck time. You know, and I think that was, I don't know, it lost, I don't know if it was a head gasket or something to antifreeze issue. Didn't overheat on me at all, no. It shuts down before it does. Tells you to shut down, or it will do it itself. And then I've had problems with the DEF system. And at one time there, you know, he's like, I was in Grand Junction at the Fruta Volvo. I go, I got this code and stuff, blah, blah. Yeah, your dosing valve. In other words, a valve that offers how much dosage of DEF, diesel exhaust fluid, is going to be needed. That valve puts it in. Well, mine was bad, so they had to order another one. Well, I didn't know that. It'd be ready the next day. I go, okay, well, got a hotel room and said, hey, you guys, how's my truck ready? Well, we didn't have one. We had to order one. So it's not going to be here till tomorrow. I'm like, okay. It's just a valve, right? Yeah. Well, is it possible for you to take one off of a new truck that you got sitting there, and then when that, put it on my truck, and then when that one comes in, go put it back on the new truck that's not moving anywhere? Oh no, we can't do that. Like, okay, it's just an option. It was a thought. And so I got another hotel room. Quality wasn't really too happy with it. Then I went and had a beer. I could maybe drink one or two. It wasn't getting party time. I just had a beer or two. And they called me up about 10 o'clock at night. Hey, your truck's ready. And I'm like, well, I can't go nowhere. I got a hotel room for the night. Oh, it'll be here for you in the morning. And I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. I go, they told me my truck wasn't going to be ready till tomorrow. Anyway, and he goes, oh, no, we got it fixed already. I go, oh, did that part come in? No, we just took one off another tractor that was sitting here, a new one, and we're just going to replace it. And I'm like, I start laughing, and I go, dude, I literally told them, why didn't they do that yesterday, early this morning? I was like, oh, I don't know, that's day crew for you. I don't know. So, but yeah, these trucks are usually pretty good, but when you have a new one, you pretty much keep driving worry-free, so something I have to think about. But this is the longest I've ever been in a new truck. In a truck period with quality. I started in 2012, October 2012. We're in 2020 right now. I don't know what to really think about it. You know, I mean, this has been a great truck, but it does have mileage on it, which is still low mileage, you know. I think they get rid of them around the 550 mark. Nice, beautiful day in Vail. Temperature now is 36. See, got up to about 20. Got down to about 26 up there on the pass. And now it's a lot like Silverthorne. 36. So I got a call yesterday from the real estate agent, and she said there was 3 offers on that house. One of them was $10,000 more than their asking price, and I went $5,000 over their asking price. But the reason being, it's a really good neighborhood, and it's the houses are, just flying off the hook. So she said that the offer they had of $10,000 more was from people who had to wait to sell their house. There's a S7, Audi S7, this fairly rare car. Got some horsepower. Not as much as my Caddy, but still pretty nice whip right there. Anyway, they have to sell their house. We're ready to go right now. So she asked me if I could do another $3,500. And that we could probably get it, if that. No guarantees, but we're ready to go. The other people have to sell their house. So I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be broke going in the house by taking my savings, all of it. I have gold too, and I don't want to sell any of that. So I don't think I'll have to sell any of it. Let's hope not anyway. But she said she'd get back to me and let me know what the status is. So a few hours later, she gets back to me and she goes, okay, we drew up another contract. So you need to sign it. It's done through email. And then, because of the new numbers, and then we'll let you know. I'm like, okay. So I do that. And like a half hour later, she sends me a text saying, congratulations, you're under contract. I'm like, sweet. So that's where it stands right now, under contract. I just gave him the earnest money now, like probably an hour ago. I had my son-in-law go to my daughter's beauty salon where she works and get a check from her, and I just transferred the money into her account. And told her, you're going to see $5,000 in your bank. Don't touch it. It's not yours. It's just for the check to give to the land and title company. And she goes, I know. It's where it feels like I'm coming down with a cold or something. You have a scratchy throat? I don't smoke anymore because I quit that 7 years ago. Glad I did too. I don't know, maybe it was like 6 years ago. Well, it looks like all the fun is gone now, as far as any possible winter driving. I didn't even bother to look to see if this load, there's two loads, two drops in Junction. I don't know if it delivers today or tomorrow. I don't think it matters. If I get there before they close, they'll take it. So they got a McDonald's right there in Vail. Yeah, probably $10 for a fish combo meal. You're in Vail, you pay. See all these houses up here in the hills here to the left. They are serviced by trash trucks and dump trucks and other type of heavy equipment vehicles, heavy trucks. Most of them B licensed only. Sometimes you'll see a small day cab with a pup on the back. Getting up there to take care, make deliveries and stuff like that. But now when it snows, they still have to go up there and take care of that. So when you do that all the time, you get acclimated pretty well to driving mountain snow. Is this guy scared? Does he think it's icy out? They're 40 degrees, it's 38 now. My little fishing spot right here, Minturn, exit 171. Just to the right there. I don't know if you can really see it. Yeah, I get right here, come down to the stop sign there, and then turn left. And then down alongside there is a turnout. And there's the river down there. Not bad fishing there. It's tough, but it's not. I do catch them out of there. At one time I went over there and there was like 4 people stretched out within a couple hundred feet. All fly fishermen. So here I come with my little trusty Rapalas, you know, boom, 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 and I'm fishing in between them, not paying very close attention to what they are doing so that I don't interfere with them at all. You know, if they're fishing downstream and I'm casting upstream a bit, when I see them bring it in, I'll hold my cast right and then boom. So, and we're not right next to each other. We're, you know, 50 feet apart, 75 feet apart. Plenty enough room. So maybe it might have been more than 200 feet. Probably more like 3. And I've been there fishing myself, was there. And people come up and surround me fishing. I've never had a problem with that. Who cares? I don't own that property. So I went down there fishing. Nobody said nothing. No one said nothing. Except for one guy. And the guy that said something was deaf. And I couldn't make out what he was trying to say, but I knew what he was saying. He wanted me out of there. This was their spot, and I had no business fishing there. And I don't know sign language, but I basically told him, it's not yours. It's everybody. And I'm just saying, you know, this, I put my arms out wide, came down, and then pointed to him. This whole thing is not you. It's for, then I opened my arms for everybody, you know. And he was getting more pissed off, you know. And the other guys that could speak didn't say anything. I have no problem with fly fishermen. It's, you know, I have respect for them. It's a tough gig, you know. The reason I don't do it is you have to gear up. You have to put everything on and go out there, stand in the water. And I have no problem with that either. But the way I fish is I'll come up, see a hole, stop, walk out there, boom, catch them, let them go, and split. If I'm out camping, I'll go walk around and I'll either put on, you know, hip waders or just walk in the water and with an old pair of shoes and shorts or pants, you know, and let them get wet, you know, like a hobo fisherman type guy. But I don't have a problem with the fly fishermen, but they have a problem with lure fishermen, apparently. I've noticed that over the years. I don't know why. Maybe we aren't a true fisherman because we're not practiced in the art of dropping the artificial fly onto the water and fooling a big lurker out of its hole to come up and boom, and then fight, and then net them, and then get your picture taken and all that stuff, you know. I respect them. They're good fishermen, you know. More power to you. But I think it takes a lot of skill too to take a lure and put it in the exact spot you want to put it in, upstream, downstream, across stream, because it's obviously different than fishing a lake. But the biggest fish I've caught was on a lake in the springtime, bouncing it off a sandy bottom, Rapala, CD5 or CD7, big old brown or rainbow, come up and hit it. It's only for a couple of weeks after ice off. So we're going to be fixing to do that here pretty soon. But yeah, I don't understand why they do that. But it does take a lot of artistry. I think that's said correctly. Artistry, finesse to be able to play that Rapala like a fish and to fool them, because they do hit it quite a bit. I'm a lure fisherman. I don't use bait. Well, you guys have heard me say this before. I don't use bait because unless I'm going to eat them. If we're camping and everybody wants fish, and you know, I'll throw a lure out there. I mean, a worm out on the bottom and play around with a lure on another pole, but. Because if you throw a worm out, they usually swallow it, and then you've pretty much hurt them trying to save them. And you just got to kill them and eat them. But that was the whole plan anyway. So, you know, I used all kinds of lures, Panther Martins, which I still have, spoons, which I still have, and use those as well. But I've gotten so good with Rapalas that that's my go-to lure. I mean, you know, if they said, oh, this is great fishing right here, what kind of stream lure do you want? Or what kind of fishing lure do you want? Instantly, I would say, give me like 2 or 3 Rapalas. Well, why 2 or 3? Because in the river, you tend to catch rocks and sticks also with fish. And the rocks and sticks are usually bigger, and it breaks your 6-pound test, so that's why. But you do have to be good at it in a stream so that you don't catch the rock and the stick fish that are huge and break your line. You have to be able to play it underwater, sight unseen. So there's a lot of finesse to it too. So if they think that lure fishermen aren't true fishermen, I don't know what they think. I've never actually talked to a strictly fly fisherman other than cordially, hello, in passing, you know, or how was the fisherman hitting, this or that type thing. I never said, why do you guys hate people who don't fly fish? You know, I could see if I had a little Mickey Mouse pole and some cheese and I'm fishing a river, then yeah, I'll give you that one. But no, man, there's an art to it, to fishing a Rapala in the river. Absolute art to it. If you don't believe me, you've never fished before, go buy a setup. You can buy them cheap at Walmart. Probably $30, you'll be all hooked up, and go fish a river. And watch how fast you lose your Rapala. You know, so, and at $7 a piece, you better learn pretty quick how to use that lure. Anyway, with that, back to those 4 guys there, you know, the guy was pissing me off, and I fish, I'll come up and I'll hit it. I'm going to catch a fish right off the bat or close to it. Each hole I moved to, I didn't catch anything, and I was fixing to leave. I had probably been there a total of 10 minutes, 15 minutes. You know, it's like you're playing a slot machine at a casino. You know, if you're going to hit, you're going to hit within the first 20 bucks. You know what I mean? You're going to hit right away. If you don't sit there, keep pumping it in. You might eventually hit, but the odds are going to be even more against you. I think. I don't know. I'm not a professional gambler. But I was fixing to leave, and this guy starts going off on me, the deaf guy, you know. And none of those guys ever did say anything. You know, the guys who could speak and give me his opinion that he's talking about. I knew what he was doing. Deaf or not, I understood. And so before I left, you know, I'm a mellow guy. I don't like to jack with people. I will, absolutely. I don't like it. I prefer to just be cordial and let stuff bounce off me. You know, I don't really care. But I will get into it with you. You know, last night I went over there to, this is kind of funny. I went over there to make a delivery at Sam's Club, and I rang the bell. Sat there 5 minutes. Rang the bell again outside the door, shipping or receiving. Rang the bell again, nothing. I've had 10 minutes out there, 12 minutes, and I'm standing in the shade. It's kind of cold. So I go out to get my phone. And I'm going to call these guys. And as I was walking back, I was thinking to myself, I should have just left the buzzer going until they can't stand it no more and come out and turn it off themselves. Then opening the door and seeing they have a delivery. You know what I mean? And it's a weird switch. Out there is like a light switch for in your house. You know, the little lever up and down. So you push the lever up, it rings the doorbell, and it does it non-stop. So in my infinite wisdom, I thought that it would work. Well, it did, but it got a bad reaction. This guy comes out, and he was like, looked like he was going to be walking past me. I am now outside, further from the door, in the sunshine, and he's looks like he's going to walk right past me. He's walking right through me, and he just comes out. What the F do you think you're doing? I go, I don't know, I'm looking for shipping and receiving. You ain't got no signs around here. Is that you leaving the doorbell or the bell ringing? I'm like, yeah. Do you realize it goes through the whole store? And I'm like, no, I didn't realize that, sir. You had me standing out here for 10, 15 minutes, and I kept doing the buzzer once, twice. You guys had no clue. I could hear you banging around back there. But you guys weren't answering the door. I go, so in my thinking, I figured, let me turn this SOB on, and you guys will have to come turn it off. I mean, then you're going to open the damn door. He goes, we don't even have anybody here to be doing this. When's your appointment? And I go, 2:30. It's now 2:50. I've been here 20 minutes. I call BS, but he said the actual word, and I'm like, I can show you right here on my phone my delivery time and my appointment time. It might be wrong, yes, but this is what I got. I go off my information. And he was just pissed. We go back into the door, you know, and he's all like, he goes, you can back it in any one of those doors you want, but it's not due till tomorrow, you know. So you'll probably just be sitting there overnight. I go, no, well, I'm just going to take it to Denver, dude. I don't care. These are my appointment times. This is what I got. You don't even want to look at it. And if you're going to do that, I'll just take the trailer to Denver and have one of our local guys bring it out. I go, I don't play little games like this, you know. And he was like, I go, you won't even look at my appointment. He goes, just put it in there and I'll get you going. I'm like, all right. So I called dispatch, kind of told them what that happened. What transpired? You know, because they're going to start calling on me and whatever. I don't care. You know, answer the door. And he come. I go to give him the bill of lading. I go, here, you want this? Nope, I don't need that. Okay. So I go back to my truck, call dispatch, talk to her. And I was dealing with the house as well. So in between phone calls, here comes this guy. I go, hold on a second. I get my headset on. Here comes this guy. Go see that BOL? Oh, that thing you didn't need right here? He goes, don't be a smart ass. Are you coming in? Or I didn't answer. I was going to go in, but I had to turn my truck off and give him the keys. You know, I'd already gave him that. And I had to do something else. I forget. So he just walks away. So I go back in there, and just when I get around the corner there and go back, the door closes. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Oh, well, fine. Just be that way. So I go up to the door. I ring the buzzer again. Real quickly, just think. Because I knew he's right there. So, hey, I'm out here, you know. And before, the door was locked. It was always locked. I kept trying it. It was locked. All it said on the sign, no receiving, no hours, no nothing. It just said on a cardboard sign, door sticks. So when you pull the handle, pull a little hard. That's all it said. So I didn't even know if I was in the right spot. I assumed I was, but, you know, I like 100% confirmation. So I go in there. There's two doors, like a waiting room and then a door to the warehouse. So he's standing at the door to the warehouse open, and he goes, are you effing kidding me? And I'm like, well, you closed the door. I thought it was locked, so I want to let you know I'm right there. And he goes, oh boy, you're a bright one. And I was like, dude, man, you're just getting a little bit ridiculous, I think. And then he said something about, he goes, well, what's this here you gave me? I go, this is BOLs. He goes, well, I've never seen it. I go, well, I've never seen these type either, so I don't know what to tell you. He goes, well, you are just a truck driver. And I'm like, really? I go, actually, I'm not a truck driver. You know, he goes, yeah, you guys are all the same. And I'm like, really? I go, you know, I got a lot of people that watch me on YouTube that think I'm a pretty decent guy, and I don't, even with you going through this, I'm still keeping my cool. But you throw a jab at me, I'm going to throw it right back at you, you know. And then he said something. He goes, what does that say? Does that say 330 on there? I go, I don't know. I'm a truck driver. He kind of chuckled a bit because I threw it back at him, you know. And then he's all, you know, I looked at it closely, and then I go, yeah, it's 330 on there. So, you know, he kind of cooled down right after that, you know. And then he realized that I wasn't being, you know, when we were outside and he's looking at me kind of like scolding me like I'm a 5-year-old child, you know, and he's the parent who's trying to teach me a life lesson. I looked him dead in the eye, and I did not flinch or blink. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, you know who you're talking to? You know, do you realize? I'm just thinking this in my head. I'm like, don't even give me your BS. And instead of saying it, I thought it and stared right into his eyes. He flinched. He buckled his eyes. Then I knew I had him. You know, because I wasn't moving my eyes. I was cutting right through. My eyes are blue, and they were piercing right through them. That's how they gave me the last name Pierce, I guess. But anyway, JK. But he calmed down, and then, like in 5 minutes, there's like 10 guys back there. And I'm like, man, you're full of shit, buddy. And I didn't say it to you, I was just thinking it, you know. But we did get out of there a lot quicker than I thought. And I called dispatch. I go, I think this guy is going to try to be a control freak and keep me here as long as he can. So I don't think I'm going to make my next appointment at 5 o'clock in Denver. Just FYI, you know. And so I go, I'm sorry for ringing the doorbell like that. I did not know it went through the whole warehouse. Through the whole store, apparently. If that was the case, why didn't you come turn it off right off the bat? Anyway, we ended on a good note, you know. I told him I'm sorry. Stuff happens, and that I wasn't trying to do it maliciously. I was just cold. I'd already been out here for 15 minutes, 10 or 15 minutes, and I could hear you guys in the back, and blah, blah. No, it's all right. Everything's cool. All right, have a good day. You know, it was fun, though. That would have been good to record that one, but, you know, I mean, I don't usually do that. I don't know how some of these people do that with their videos. They'll just, you know, film people, and, you know, you don't have to ask their permission in public, but, you know, I would think, hey, I'm going to be doing some filming. Do you mind being on camera or whatever? You know, and if they say, oh, yeah, I don't care, then I would do it, but I don't usually, I just end up talking to them and start doing the job and completely forget about filming. All these guys are going to mess me up. The black truck takes off, and then the white van sped up just enough to lock me in here. So I guess we'll just hang out here a bit. So yeah, that guy was fishing, you know, when I was about done because I hadn't caught any fish and tried my little special holes and didn't hit nothing, so I was leaving, and he's going off more. And so I gave him a salute with one finger, and told him to F off as best I could. I knew, so that's the universal sign language everyone knows, so I'm sure he got my message, and then I left. But I don't know what the deal is. Maybe one of you guys, fly fishermen, can tell me why you guys look down on lure fishermen? Not bait fishermen, just lure fishermen. Or is it just anybody who doesn't fly fish is all put in the same Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck fishing pole with a ball of cheese on the end? You know, like when you very first start fishing, learning how to fish. Are we all in one pile together who doesn't fly fish? I don't know. As a fairly successful lure fisherman, I have total respect for you fly fishermen, absolutely. It's an art to do that, and I know it is, and I know it's hard to do. And I've never really felt the drive to put in that much time to learn it. So just because I haven't done that doesn't mean I don't respect you guys for doing it. Absolutely, I do, 100%. But it doesn't seem reciprocal. We don't seem to get any respect from fly fishermen. I don't know what it is. Is it because it's more expensive to be a fly fisherman? Is it because it costs more money? It puts you in a different mindset? You're the 1%er who looks down on the 99? I don't know. I think that might be part of it. I don't know. Nor do I care. One of my biggest kicks is, and this happened to me a few times, is watching somebody stand in the middle of the river, fishing downstream, fly fishing, and then going upstream of him, throwing across the river, letting the water pull it down and start to bring it back up. As it gets to the middle of the river, hooking into a big 35-inch brown, and he jumps and breaks the water, and the fly fisherman turns around and sees the lure fisherman bringing in the big one. It actually happened to me on the Colorado between Hot Sulphur Springs and Kremlin, Colorado, Highway 40. That was a nice, it's catch and release gold medal water also. That was a nice payback, if you will. And then I have been in the back Columbine Bay on Lake Granby, where the river comes in from Shadow Mountain Lake, which is also the Colorado River, headwaters in the Colorado River. And the fly fishermen are slaying it and I can't catch a hit no matter what lure I used. So, like I say, it's reciprocal. I get it handed to me as well as I hand it to them. But yeah, I don't know what it is with the attitude with that. But I don't care. When I'm sitting there fishing, a fly fisherman walks up to me, you're in the same boat as me, you're out here fishing, more power to you. Just don't crowd my bubble. I won't crowd yours, you know. That's the airport, Gypsum Airport. If you're gonna fly into Vail, you would fly here. Right in front of us here at the 11 o'clock tower where Mark is. This red barn was up for sale. I don't know if it still is. It's a horse boarding, I think. I don't see any for sale signs now, so I assume someone bought it. Looks like a bunch of pastures for horses. Wow, I didn't realize I start rambling sometimes. I apologize. But if you don't want to hear any rambling, any speaking at all, Relaxation Highway is your answer. Anyway, we'll call this video good. Getting ready to go through Glenwood Canyon. If it is snowing, I'll film it. If not, I'll just truck right through it. Anyway, thanks again for riding shotgun with Mountain Man Mike. Hope you enjoy. Till the next time, peace! Oh, this darn seatbelt. See ya.